Hello there and welcome to Aging Fearlessly, the place where we work together to create our best lives. I'm your host, Guillermo Vidal, and thank you for tuning in. Now, before I continue with today's program, I want to point out that having subscribers is what lets me know that my message is getting out there and hopefully helping people. So if you like the content of this program and want to receive more, please press the subscribe button on the bottom right hand of your picture and you'll receive these programs directly. Subscriptions are free, and so too is your ability to share any program you like with friends and family. Thank you in advance for your consideration. I have a wonderful life surrounded by love, beauty, and friendship, and plenty of coffee. But it wasn't always that way, for I once lived in a negative emotional cesspool that kept me trapped in a joyless existence. The main reason my life was in such terrible shape was because I worshipped at the altar of some horribly mistaken beliefs. Now in today's program, I want to point out what these are and show how even though they may express values of our society, these negative beliefs consistently derail our personal growth. You know, the ironic thing is that these beliefs are well accepted as truths that we must adhere to if we want to live successful lives, but their message is not true. In fact, embracing these beliefs can turn our lives into miserable shit swamps that are loveless and mired in loneliness, jealousy, and paranoia. At least that's how they affected me, and I want to share with you why I let them go and then saw my life change for the better. And I'm sure they'll be familiar to you. Here's the first one. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Now this is certainly the revered belief when it comes to our sports teams, but is winning really the only thing? No, I don't think so. Well, I can agree that striving for our best effort is a positive thing. Thinking that our success can only be seen as positive if we win is totally wrong. Think about this with sports teams. Those who win, unless they continue to win, can only rely on their accolades for only so long. Eventually, like the rest of us, they lose. And if they do so too much, those once revered players and coaches will be traded or fired. The same with us. Are we bad people when we lose? Does it mean we didn't try hard enough? Does it mean we are incapable, inferior, and worthless? Now, because of my commitment to this belief, I certainly saw myself as a loser. Every time I failed to win something I went after, be it losing a game or not getting a promotion I wanted. The long list of failures in my life kept me anxious, angry, and resentful, and often fatigued. Fortunately, over time, I began to see victories as short-lived memories, while defeats offered a clear roadmap to becoming a better and more complete person. Losing helped me to question my motives and commitment to my goal, and it gave me the strength of character to up my efforts. As a result, my alternate belief has become, winning is great, but it is losing that propels us to become better than we were before. Another mistaken belief is, he who dies with the most toys wins. Now this is attributed to Malcolm Forbes, best known as the publisher of Forbes magazine. And I can see where maybe Mr. Ford might have been joking somewhat when he said this, but I understand why he said it, for he was an avid promoter of capitalism and free market economics. The goal of dying with the most toys means you focus your life on making money so you can buy all the things you want. This kind of life is an orgasm of consumerism, the kind of energy capitalism and free market economies rely on to be successful. Now, frankly, my father reinforced this belief with his own preaching. Dad would often tell my brothers and I that the only things that mattered in life were money, status, and power. Now, I must confess, I like having toys and have bought many throughout my life, and I'll probably continue to buy some in the future. But as I got older, I realized that my life had become dominated by my greed, and I was miserably surrounded by expensive things while living a life of quiet desperation. My life improved considerably when I realized that making money to buy things is a very trivial life priority, and I let go of this belief in search of more important things. Nourishing great personal relationships and friendships, spending time learning new things, creating wonderful memories, and contributing to a greater good have become my life focus. As a result, my replacement belief has become, make life matter for the people you love. And remember that he who dies with the most toys still dies, and his toys get scattered. Now the third one of these worthless teaching is, it is not what you know, but who you know. This saying implies that the right connections in life and business are more important than your experience and level of competency. This belief is connected to the previous two beliefs in that it implies that if you want to win and have greater status, power, and money, like my father taught, then having the right connections make all the difference. Now, frankly, because I was never very good at connecting with the right people, it was easy to use this belief to discredit the success of others, especially my competitors in the workplace. I discredited any person who was chosen over me to be an ass-kisser who had developed a special connection with the person making the decision. Now, living with this belief kept me from taking responsibility for my lack of effort and preparation, and this kept me frozen in a quagmire of jealousy that would prevent me from looking at what I needed to do to improve. Now, eventually I had to look in the mirror and accept that my fate depended on my efforts. Now, my replacement belief now goes like this. It is not about how far I rise or how often I win. It is about bringing my best effort forward every time. The rest will take care of itself. Now, I realize that my best effort can vary from day to day. That's the nature of being human. But as long as I'm giving it my all that day, I can live with the results. It's the only thing I control. Now, the last worthless belief that I was attracted to is this. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Now, I now consider this to be a very stupid way to see the world, and you might think you do too. In fact, dogs don't even live in a dog-eat-dog world. But for my poor dad, an immigrant from Cuba who had everything taken from him by Fidel Castro and his minions, this old belief had proven to be real for him. And as a result, he indoctrinated my brothers and I with this terrible old teaching. I learned from my father that no one was to be trusted, for people were willing to do anything, even destroy you in order to gain an advantage and win. Now, living in this world, I had no real friends, for anyone could prove to be out to get me. But over time, I realized that living in a world where no one can be trusted is just no way to live, for you can never feel safe or take your guard down. For doing so means you could lose everything that's precious to you. This was a lonely world I live in, depending only on myself to look out for me. I had no expectations from people, for I feared that I would be betrayed and disappointed by them. Living like this made me feel imprisoned in my own home. Life was joyless and unfulfilling. Living with this kind of fear was killing my soul. Fortunately, I met people who did not meet my terrible expectations. Their love, kindness, compassion for all, and their genuine desire to create open and loving communities softened my heart and lifted my expectations. They changed my life. Now today I realize it's not unusual to run into a friend or even family member who betrays you. But that is no cause to suspect everyone. Consider it as part of our journey, like a personal curriculum filled with lessons to help us evolve into our greatest selves. My alternative belief to the dog-eat-dog paradigm is the following. We project our reality. If we believe that everyone out there is out to get us, we will attract people who will meet those expectations. But if we believe they are kind, loving, and want to create a better world, then this will be the kind of people who will surround you. Now, the whole point of the program today is to remind you that all those negative thoughts and beliefs you have about the world around you don't serve you. Look for the positive in your life. The positive will serve you a heck of a lot better than the negative ever could. Thank you for sharing your time with me today.